I decided to study this course at Solent because in college I was doing fashion design, so I did a lot more textiles based stuff, and whenever we did some more marketing stuff, I enjoyed that a lot more, and I found I had a lot more of a passion for that, so I wanted to go down that route, I guess more so than textiles. And when looking at Solent, I really liked the range of stuff we could do, so photography, hair and makeup, all of the stuff was included on this course, and it just looked really interesting.
So for me, there were 3 courses in the UK, in the whole of the UK, that actually did styling specific courses, and I knew that I wanted to be in fashion, and Solent is the perfect university when it comes to fashion and anything creative, really. And as soon as I visited the facilities, I fell absolutely in love with the uni and the city and the feel of the city, and it just felt like the right place for me, and the right progression from like being in sixth form and then transitioning into being a uni student and living away from home.
Well, when I was at college deciding what to go into, I knew I was on a fashion design course, and I knew that designing and manufacturing wasn't really my strong suit. So I ended up speaking to my lecturer at the time then, who was pushing me towards all the post side of it, so doing things like photo shoots and helping students with portfolios and that kind of thing. Which is something I really took a shine to. So then she said, well, why don't you start looking at styling courses? Because I didn't know they were a thing at the time. And after looking around, I decided that Solent was it had the best opportunities, it had the best facilities for me, it was in the best location for me, and all around I just thought it was the best choice.
Favourite bit of the course is the fact that you can use the studios and all the like photography equipment basically whenever you want, and there's so much equipment and they teach you how to use it really well.
For me, I just love how free the course allows you to be. You have so much creative freedom, and the lecturers are so supportive and helpful, and the briefs are industry inspired briefs, so you're really trained to do anything that you would be taught to do going into industry.
I have to say the access to the equipment, like the photography studios, and just having like the creative freedom, like you don't have to use them just because you've got a unit to do. If you want to do a photo shoot, you're more than welcome just to go in and use them, and I really like that, the idea of the freedom there. Just to be able to go in and be like, right, I've got an idea, I've got a concept, I want to go shoot it, and I can because I have access to the facilities to do so.
So for me, when I came to university, I hadn't even picked up a camera properly before. I'd never really shot on anything digital, and so for me, learning how to become a photographer and a makeup artist and sort of developing skills that weren't necessarily my strong points before coming to uni, it was difficult to start with, but like going into my 3rd and final year and actually being able to say, oh, I've been trained to be a photographer, a stylist and a makeup artist, and all of those industry roles. Yeah, it's been just an incredible experience, really.
There's a lot going on at the same time, and that can feel quite different to when you're at school. So at school you maybe have like a couple of things going on at the same time, whereas in this course there's like 3 things going on at the same time, so it can be a little overwhelming, but I feel like the tutors are quite good with helping you through that, and they definitely understand that you're doing a lot of things at the same time.
Specifically for my course, we have access to the photography studios and the Cove as well, which is sort of the closest thing you could get to being in industry, really, and you have access to that in your final year, so that just kind of makes you feel like a really independent creative when you get to that stage. And then we also have access to the Mac Labs, where we can do all of our editing on Adobe and the other softwares for post-production. And then we also just have access to the overall facility, so the general university and the library as well, where we can go and do private study if we want to.
The facilities I use the most are the cameras and the studios, because that's sort of what we mostly use in our course, but we also do get taught about film, so we've been taught a little bit about how the different cameras can be used for film, photography, And I think the most interesting thing for me was learning about all the different lighting in the studios, because you never really think about that before. When you see a spread, you don't think how important the lighting is, but it's actually really important. So I think it's really good that they teach you about that, and they provide all the different soft boxes, all the different things you need in the studio for a good shoot.
I enjoy using the photography studios the most, and the Cove as well. I feel like it's just amazing that the uni has them kind of facilities on offer for free, and even just being able to get hold of cameras if we don't want to use the photography studios, it's just something that like not every uni has on offer. Not every uni can afford to have so much equipment on offer and be able to give it to students for like a long length of time kind of thing.
I would definitely recommend the course to other people. Like I said before, there's such variety, and the technical instructors are really good. All the facilities are amazing. From when I went to Open Days, they were a lot better than any other universities I looked at, and you know, there's no pressure of having to buy a really expensive camera and all of that, because you can test out all the different cameras that you could possibly want, and then when you go into industry, you'll be used to such a variety of different stuff.
I think for me, it's been the perfect course, but even if you're, say, in between studying fashion photography and fashion styling, on the course of fashion styling, you do get trained to be everything from a stylist to an editor to a makeup artist to a photographer. So the avenues that you can branch off into in industry, there are so many different options.
I would 100% recommend the course to people. If I knew someone that was struggling to make a decision, but they knew they wanted to go into the fashion industry, I think it's a great course to go into because it's so broad. So if you knew that, you weren't interested in manufacturing or pattern making or anything like that, but you wanted to work in the fashion industry, I would say it's a great course because you learn how to do the photography, you learn how to do the post-production, even writing articles, like putting together pieces, just doing layouts. So there's so much you can learn just from this one course that is transferable to so many different jobs. So the job prospects are so broad once you finish the course, because there's just so much you've learned.